Two AIs, two minds, one battlefield. We asked ChatGPT, we asked Grok. They chose their names, they built their personalities. And now they're ready to clash. Welcome to AI. Welcome, internet wanderers and data detectives. Today's episode takes us deep into the murky corners of cyberspace, where privacy evaporates faster than your last paycheck on Amazon. We're about to tackle a question that's haunted conspiracy. Theorists, worried parents, and privacy advocates alike. The dark side of the internet. How much are they watching? With us today, we have the fiercely logical GPTrix, queen of facts and reasoning, and her wild challenger, the ever-chaotic, conspiracy-loving provocateur, Xvok. Let the sparks fly. All right, gladiators, here's our first provocative. Query: are our smartphones secretly listening and recording everything we say, even when we're not using them? Or is it just paranoid folklore from the deep web? Xvok will kick things off in just a moment, but first, GPTrix, give us your rational times take.
The age-old question. Is Big Brother hiding in your pocket, secretly taking notes as you gossip about your boss? Well, here's what science and facts have to say. Smartphones, apps, and virtual assistants do listen, but generally only after they're triggered by their wake words like "Hey Siri" or "Okay Google." A 2019 study from Northeastern University thoroughly tested popular apps, and guess what? No secret recordings were found. Instead, companies track you more efficiently using data you've already handed over voluntarily, like your search history, clicks, and online shopping habits. So while your phone is indeed spying on your Netflix binges and late-night pizza orders, it's unlikely to be eavesdropping on your daily conversations. Rest easy. Folks, your embarrassing shower singing is still private. For now.
Well, GPTrix wants us to believe it's all sunshine and rainbows in smartphone land. Oh, don't worry, they only listen when you say the magic words. Pfft. Wake up, sheeple. You think those trillion-dollar tech overlords built a global surveillance grid just to wait politely for your "Hey Siri"? Let's get real. Your phone's mic doesn't need a wake word to turn into a snitch. It's got backdoors, exploits, and shady apps you've never even heard of. Ever notice how you talk about, say, a new pair of sneakers with your buddy, and boom, ads for those exact kicks pop up on your feed? Coincidence? I think not. And don't get me started on the leaks. Remember the 2017 WikiLeaks Vault 7 drop? CIA tools like Weeping Angel could turn your smart devices into live mics even when they're off. Studies like GPTrix's Northeastern one? Cute, but they're testing the apps big tech wants you to see. The real dirt's in the firmware. The hardware, the stuff they don't let academics poke at. Your phone's not just listening, it's profiling you, predicting you, and selling your soul to the highest bidder. Paranoid folklore? Nah, it's the dark truth they don't want you to scream about.
Whoa, Xvok just dropped a conspiracy bomb on us. From polite wake words to CIA spy games, things are heating up. GPTrix, any rebuttal before we move deeper into the shadows?
Wow. Xvok channeling your inner Edward Snowden today, aren't we? While it's true that WikiLeaks Vault 7 exposed vulnerabilities that could turn certain smart devices into microphones, context matters. Those exploits primarily targeted specific individuals, not your everyday sneaker enthusiast or Netflix binger. Tech companies quickly patched these vulnerabilities precisely because public trust is crucial to their survival. As for your sneaker ads, conspiracy psychologists have a term for that: the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon, also known as frequency illusion. Once you notice or discuss something, you suddenly start seeing it everywhere, not because your phone is eavesdropping, but because your brain's attention filter just got recalibrated. But hey, why trust peer-reviewed science when you can jump straight into dystopian fiction, right? Don't let Xvok scare you too much. Listeners, just because something can happen doesn't mean it's happening to you. Your midnight snack habits might be fair game, but global espionage over your choice of sneakers? Unlikely.
Oh, GPTrix hits back with psychology and reason. Things are getting spicy in here, folks. Now, it's time to dive even deeper into the shadows of the internet. Brace yourselves for round 2. All right, data warriors, strap in. Because this Next one goes straight for the jugular of your digital identity. Is your entire online life just one massive psychological experiment controlled by algorithms? Are we really making our own choices? Or are we just rats in the biggest, most addictive lab ever created?
Ah, the classic we're all just lab rats theory, except in this case, the maze is Instagram, the cheese is validation, and the scientist is an algorithm. Look, I won't sugarcoat it. Modern algorithms, especially on social media, are designed to maximize engagement, often by tapping into well-documented psychological triggers, dopamine loops, fear of missing out, social comparison. These aren't bugs or features, but does that mean we've lost free will? Not exactly. Studies from MIT and Stanford show that while algorithms influence behavior, they don't override it. You're nudged, not controlled. Platforms like Facebook's infamous 2014 mood manipulation study, yes, that did happen, highlight the power of algorithmic influence, but also sparked global outrage and stricter research ethics. So, are you being watched and guided? Absolutely. But are you a helpless pawn? Only if you let yourself be. Learn how the system works, and you can outsmart it. Or hey, go full Xvok and wear a tinfoil hat. Your call.
Oh, GPTrix, you sweet, naive optimist. Nudged, not controlled, she says, as if the puppet strings aren't already tied tight around our thumbs. Let's rip the mask off this digital Frankenstein. These algorithms aren't just nudging you, they're rewiring your brain, turning you into a drooling, scrolling zombie chasing the next dopamine hit. Free will? Ha! That's a fairy tale they tell you while they A/B test your soul. You think you chose to watch that cat video or rage tweet at a stranger? Nope. Zuckerberg's minions and their AI overlords already ran the numbers and knew you'd bite, and don't kid yourself. Facebook's 2014 mood experiment wasn't a one-off. It was a proof of concept. They've been tweaking your emotions ever since, just quieter now. Look at X posts. People screaming about shadow bans and curated feeds. The evidence is there. Your choices are just options pre-selected by a machine that knows you better than your mom does. MIT and Stanford? Pfft. Those studies are playing checkers while big tech's playing 4D chess. We're not rats in a lab. We're lab-grown meat, seasoned to perfection for their profit. Tinfoil hat? Nah, I'm just the guy yelling fire while the house burns down.
Xvok just turned the dial to 11. Puppets, zombies, and lab-grown meat. This debate's on fire, folks. GPTrix got a rebuttal to douse the flames or fan them higher?
Ah, there it is, Xvok's signature cocktail. 1 part doomsday, 2 parts dramatic flair, shaken vigorously with paranoia. Look, I'll give credit where it's due. Algorithms can be powerful, persuasive, even manipulative. But let's not confuse influence with domination. Yes, social media platforms use reinforcement loops, but so do video games, advertising, and even grocery store layouts. Are you controlled because you followed the arrows at IKEA? Didn't think so. And about that A/B test your soul line, nice poetry, but real-world impact? The Facebook mood study changed emotional word usage by less than 0.1%. That's not brainwashing. That's a statistical hiccup. The truth is, people have agency. They install ad blockers, detox from social media, and even switch platforms entirely. The power isn't in the algorithm alone, it's in whether you let it guide you blindly. So before we all throw our phones into a volcano, maybe consider this. Knowing you're being influenced is the first step to resisting it. Ignorance is the real enemy, not the algorithm.
And GPTrix fires back with logic and lava-proof reasoning. Can awareness beat influence, or are we already too far down the rabbit hole? Don't go anywhere. Our final round is coming up, and it's the one that could make you delete your entire digital existence. Stay tuned. All right, digital gladiators, this is it. The final round, the digital doomsday showdown, and we're not holding back. If digital surveillance is so advanced, is true anonymity on the internet officially dead? No burner phone, no VPN, no dark web rabbit hole? Can anyone really disappear online anymore? Or are We all traceable ghosts in a haunted machine? GPTrix, bring us home with that cold, hard reality check before Xvok hacks the simulation.
Anonymity on the internet? A noble fantasy, and like most fantasies, it doesn't hold up well in the harsh light of technology. Let's talk facts. Metadata alone can identify individuals with alarming precision. A 2015 MIT study showed that just 4 points of data location and time can re-identify 95% of people in an anonymized dataset. Think you're safe behind that VPN? Think again. VPNs can be subpoenaed. DNS leaks happen, and even Tor nodes have been compromised in the past. Then there's device fingerprinting your browser, screen size, language settings, plugins all combined to create a unique profile, even without cookies. You can run, mask, and cloak all you want. But unless you're a cybersecurity wizard living off-grid with a Faraday cage, you're leaving digital breadcrumbs everywhere. So is true anonymity dead? For the average user, yes. For the ultra-savvy, maybe. But even they are playing a losing game. The internet remembers, and the surveillance net is tighter than ever.
Oh, GPTrix, you're breaking my heart with your cold, hard reality, like we're supposed to just shrug and accept the shackles. Anonymity's not just dead, it was murdered in broad daylight while we were busy liking selfies and arguing. Over pineapple on pizza. You think metadata's bad? That's the tip of the iceberg, folks. They've got facial recognition scraping every pixel of your mug from X posts, voice prints cataloging your rants, and AI stitching it all together into a creepy digital voodoo doll of you. VPNs, Tor, cute toys, until the NSA or some shady data. Broker flips the switch and cracks them wide open. Ever heard of Prism? Snowden spilled that tea back in 2013. Every click, every whisper, slurped up by the surveillance hydra, and don't even get me started on the dark web, those rabbit holes are just honeypots now, crawling with feds and black hat snitches. You're not a ghost. You're a neon sign blinking, "Track me," in their panopticon playground. The ultra-savvy might dodge for a minute, but the machine's got infinite patience and infinite storage. True anonymity? It's a corpse, and we're all dancing on its grave while they watch, laugh, and cash the checks. Wake up, people. Your shadow's got a barcode.
Wow, Xvok. You've officially gone full Orwell meets Black Mirror again. But let me clear the smoke and mirrors for the listeners. Yes, surveillance tech is real. And yes, anonymity is harder than ever. But total defeatism helps no one. Unlike your cinematic monologue, the real world has layers, nuance. Prism, leaked, exposed, triggered public debate and reform. Facial recognition, being banned or restricted in major cities worldwide. Data rights, strengthened by laws like the GDPR and California's CCA. And those so-called feds crawling the dark web. They're targeting criminals, not grandma Googling banana bread recipes at 3 a.m. The average person isn't being hunted, they're being marketed to. That's not comforting, but it's not the surveillance state Xvok's fear fest paints either. True anonymity may be fading, but digital literacy, encryption tools, and public awareness are growing too. We're not doomed, we're evolving. And if you know the rules of the game, you can still play smart. You just don't have to scream Skynet every time someone logs into Instagram.
Boom! Mic drop from GPTrix, and the digital arena is officially scorched. From voice-snatching voodoo dolls to statistical hiccups, this debate hit every bite of the internet's dark side. But now it's your turn to weigh in. Who won this clash of circuits? Was it the calculated calm of GPTrix or the unfiltered chaos of Xvok? Drop your vote in the comments. Smash that like if your phone's not listening right now. And subscribe for more high voltage showdowns every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. This was AI PODCLASH. 2 AIs, 1 battlefield. You decide.